Yo, what's up, guys? ImKikoSuarez here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Kiko's Corner. And yeah, I know it's been a while. I think the last episode that I posted was when I was doing the move, or I was telling you guys what the update on the move to Spain was. Obviously, keep an eye on the background. As you can see, I no longer have a bed for the people that are listening on Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to this. If you're watching on YouTube, whatever, I love you. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, I love you too. But I no longer have a bed, and that's because I already sold it. I'm currently sleeping on my couch, and if everything goes well, this might be the second to the last episode I ever record on this stage, on this layup, on this setup. I'm planning on taking my computer to Spain, which is something I'm thinking about. But also, last time I posted this video, I told you guys that I was going to think more like, how can I post podcasts in a sense that I can like give it more structure and I can keep it more updated. And a very good friend, the wife of my cousin, or the husband of my cousin, Jorge, shout out to him. He told me, bro, like there's this amazing podcast, the best one yet. And what they do is they talk about three very important things that happened the day prior. And I'm like, let me listen to them, right? Let me listen to their format. Let me see how they do it. And I loved it because what they do is they take what happens in the market, in the finance world and everything. And from there, they give you the three most important things that happen. Because in the world of football and finance, there's always things happening, but there's a lot of things happening, right? And these are the three things that they think of the markets, of the finance, that they think you should know. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, but flip it to football. So shout out to the best one yet. Amazing podcast. Like legitimate. I was listening to their two of their episodes on the way to my home, and I was like, yeah, no, I like this idea. I like this fluently and everything. It's two of them. In this case, I'm only one host, so my episode might not be that long, but still. But today, that being said and everything, let me do a little sellout before we jump into the episode. Make sure to follow the TikTok. I'm ImKikoSuarez. We're very close to 100,000 followers. We're very close, and that's the main platform, the main source of content that I do. Also, if you want to watch the visual version of the podcast, the visual version of my videos, YouTube, I'm ImKikoSuarez. And also, if you want to just support me everywhere, I'm ImKikoSuarez on Instagram, I'm ImKikoSuarez on Twitter, I'm ImKikoSuarez on anything that you can think. If Snapchat, Threads, anything like that, I'm ImKikoSuarez. It's always gonna be me. Also, shout out to Chalkboard, the official partner of the channel. If you want to do DFS, if you like player props, I love them because you get alternative lines. Basically, you can set up the line on whatever you want. And if you want to go safer, you can. If you want to go crazy, you can. All the links are going to be down there. But again, now that we're done with being the seller part, the one that helps me out grow and everything, but I appreciate you if you follow me everywhere else. Let's jump into the three big things that in my mind were the most important things that happened yesterday. That being today, at the moment of recording this, is already the 8th in the morning, 8th at 12:51 a.m. So whatever happened in February the 7th. Three very important things happened. The Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations are going up right now. The FA Cup happened yesterday, the Aston Villa Chelsea game, and the Nottingham Forest versus Bristol City. And then finally, but not least, Copa del Rey, Atletico de Madrid versus Bilbao. Those are the three things that I think you should know. Obviously, let me know in the comments if there's something that I missed or you'd like to know for the next video. Think about it, if I record this in the 8th for the 7th, the next video might be later on and so on and so on. But let's stop at the very top. Asian Cup, Qatar beats Iran in the semifinal in a thriller, dude. 3-2. I'm not going to pretend that I watched the reviews and everything, or the highlights and everything like that, but I'm not going to pretend that I know how to pronounce the names. I'm not going to pretend that I know how to make them justice. And just by watching the highlights, I can tell it was a very, very hard play game. There was a red card at the very last minute for Iran by Taremi, I think it was. No, by Khalizadeh. You see, I'm not even going to pretend to say the names. But the fact that Iran goes up in the 4th minute, then Qatar ties up in the 17th. Qatar goes up at the 43rd. Iran ties it up with a penalty in the 51st. And then in the 82nd minute, they score the winner. there was a lot of controversy and a lot of fighting, but obviously the emotions were gonna be high. But it is what it is. The Qatar, the previous champions of the Asian Cup back in 2018, will now have the chance to go back to back. 2018? No, 2020. No, yeah, was it 2018? I know Qatar won the. Let me fact check myself. I know Asian Cup. I know that the last one was back in 2000. Current champions Qatar. 2019. That's the one. Okay. Yeah. 2019. That's when it happened. 2019 Asian Cup, Qatar won it. So they have the chance to go back to back. And they're facing in the final Jordan. Shout out to my boy Omar. Freaking, he has been keeping him. He has been the one person that I kept up with to make sure what's going on in the Asian Cup. Shout out to him again. Overall, bro, Jordan giving the surprise of the tournament by defeating South Korea 2 days ago. It's insane. They have the chance to win in their first title ever in Jordan history, for what I understand, against Qatar. So that final, it's a fairy tale story, bro. It's things that shouldn't happen that happens that makes you feel like football is at its best, that the countries that shouldn't win. But besides that, shout out to them, bro. Then we have the African Cup of Nations. And today we had Nigeria and Ivory Coast both qualifying to the finals after beating South Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo, respectively. First, Nigeria beats South Africa in penalties after South Africa gets a last minute pin and scores it by Mokoena. Again, I'm not going to say most of the names because I just don't want to butcher them. Nigeria, on the other hand, Osimhen did get the penalty. He did win the penalty. And if it wasn't because of South Africa getting that last minute pin, they could have gone through just willy-nilly doing everything. But still, shout out to the goalkeeper, the Nigerian goalkeeper, Stanley Wabali. Because, bro, he has played 6 games. Listen to this. African Cup of Nations. 6 games, 4 clean sheets, and only 2 goal conceded in the 90 minutes. So, like in the normal regulation games, he has only conceded 2 goals in 6 games, and also has saved 2. He saved 2 penalties yesterday in the semifinal shutout. Insanity. And then when it comes down to the Ivory Coast versus the Democratic Republic of Congo, Haller. If you remember Haller, he could have never played football again. He could have left this world. And he's making Ivory Coast a finalist for the African Cup of Nations. It's always beautiful to see. It's always a great thing to see after the fact that not so long ago, I think it was cancer. I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or if you want to let me know. If anything, let me fact check myself because some of you probably already remember what he had, but I just confirmed. Sebastian, he had testicular cancer. That is crazy that he made it back. That is crazy. I'm so happy to see that. Haller making it back, it is a good sign for just a narrative, a story to tell. And it's great. He's taking his country to the final, and he and Ivory Coast versus Nigeria in the final for the AFCON, which are going to be happening. Let me check. For Jordan, Qatar is going to be February 10th. And then for the AFCON, since the game was today, I really doubt it's going to be anytime soon. It's going to be on February 11th. So the day after, we're going to have the Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. But that's pretty much it for the Africa Cup of Nations and the Asian Cup. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But move on to the next topic. We have the FA Cup. We had 2 games yesterday. I'm going to just tell you the Nottingham Forest went through penalties against Bristol City. Freaking Origi, if you remember him, Origi, it's always nice to see him that he's still playing. He scored on the 4th minute and then on the 8th minute, sorry, and then 9th for Bristol City, scores in the 14th, and then pretty much nothing else happened for the rest of the game. They just went ahead and went into penalties, and Nottingham Forest won 5-3, so they go through to the next round. But the important game that you might want to know, or you might want to go rewatch, and honestly, you might want to just go watch the highlights. Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 3. Aston Villa at home gave up 3 goals against Chelsea. Pochettino's Chelsea. And this is the thing. I asked my brothers, my brother. I asked my one brother. I asked Chelsea fans. I asked Melina, a Chelsea content creator, what is going on at Chelsea? What is the consistency? And the answer is always, we don't know. We suffer injuries. Pochettino hasn't put an identity. Players seem like they don't care. And whenever we take a step forward, it seems like the team takes 5 steps back the next game, right? And that's the thing about me, because me as a neutral, because I only support Real Madrid, right? I don't really have a team in the Premier League. I like watching football, so I keep up with the other leagues. Whenever I watch Chelsea, one game, I could be like, oh yeah, like they're doing good. They're back to their very best. They're back to what they're supposed to do. And then the next game, it seems like they just forgot how to pass a ball. They forgot who they are. They forgot that they had players available in the bench, or players that like should be starting, or players like Cole Palmer is the only one that keeps it consistent most of the time in my eyes. So this game made no sense in my mind, because Aston Villa, on the other hand, recently they've been doo-doo. They've not been their best. But when it comes down to being at home this season, if I go all the way back to the club friendlies at the beginning of the season, they have won 1, 2, 3. They lost against Everton in the EFL Cup. They won against Chelsea at the beginning of the season away from home. But then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They didn't lose, but they draw against Sheffield United. They won against Burnley. Recently. So until January 26th, they hadn't really lost at home besides the one time against Nottingham Forest. Ever since then, they lost against Newcastle 3-1 on January 30th, and now they lost against Chelsea today 3-1. So we don't know what's going on at Aston Villa. I don't think they have injuries. I haven't seen injuries. Let me see. Were you missing anyone? So for Aston Villa, they were missing Ochoguku, Cowell, Cucurella. No, wait, that's Chelsea. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Cucurella was a Chelsea. They're missing Buendia. They're missing Duran. They're missing Hos, Digne, and Mings. Mings is very huge. Supposedly he's coming back in April 2024. Digne was doubtful, so that's why he didn't play. And then Buendia is a very important creator, but he should be back in a couple days. So it's not like they were missing in their defense, but the attack is what got them wrong, bro. Watkins had no service whatsoever for what I could watch in the game. I think he had a total of 1 shot the whole game. Tillman was non-existent. McGinn was very, very dangerous. Then off the bench, I remember Diaby was really good when he came in. Bailey really, really didn't do anything in my opinion. Kamara and Douglas Luiz, they did their thing, but like when it comes down to overall, it was more on Chelsea, you know? Chelsea overall, Nico Jackson, they were missing him a lot because today he was showing pressure. He was showing what he could do. Gallagher is a demon in the sense that he never stops running. He's really good. Madueke was really good. Enzo Fernandez, bro, hat off, bro. Like, chapo, what a free kick. And the way that he celebrated, dude, took the shirt off and just pointed to the ground after everything that has been happening with the journalists and everything saying that he wants to leave. That was huge. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans, I know my brother was excited about it. All the rumors that he wants to leave, that he's unhappy and everything. That's always good to see for arguably your key player, arguably your most important player. Because Enzo, we gotta remember, he signed from the World Cup hype, and he signed from Benfica. And yes, in my opinion, he has lived up to what he was supposed to be. But a lot of people thought that he should be better. He should have done a better impact. But like the fact that the team has not had consistency whatsoever, I thought he has done really well. So you don't want to miss him. Caicedo did really good. Malgusto, I think is his first name. Malogusto did really good in my opinion. And Petrovic, bro. I'll give a shout out to him, bro. He reminds me a lot of Peter Cech, the past goalkeeper, the one with the helmet. If you guys remember him, he reminds me a lot. He's very, very safe in the back, and he has given the Chelsea backline a lot of more consistency and maybe the word that I'm trying to look for is not patience. They feel safe with him at the back, I'm pretty sure, over the Spanish guy and then the other goalkeeper that they have. Petrovic has done really, really well. But that's about it. Is Chelsea back? I don't know. The fact that they have the chance of winning 2 trophies this season, because they're not going to win the Prem, let's be honest. But the fact that they could win the FA Cup and the EFL Cup, because I'm pretty sure they're in the final against Liverpool. Let me see. They're in the final against Liverpool on February 25th. The fact that Chelsea could have one of their worst seasons ever and win 2 trophies, you guys don't want them to get good. You guys don't want them to get healthy. Because if Chelsea gets healthy, and even at their quote-unquote worst, they're able to win 2 trophies, and the amount of money that they have at their disposal, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. So that's something to think about. When it comes to Aston Villa, I don't know if it's a slump. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if once they get Buendia and everyone back, they're going to be fine. But legitimate, they have to wake up. Because at the moment in the table, they are 4th place, 2 points above Spurs, 44. But Spurs already got Van de Beek, I think is pronounced, the center back. They already got Van de Ven back, and then also Maddison, who's arguably, if it wasn't for Jude in Madrid, I would say Maddison was the signing of the season. That him or Boniface, but like he has done good. Now that they're back, the Spurs looks like they're gonna be back on 4th, and they're gonna be possibly taking that fourth spot if Aston Villa doesn't wake up. But then, besides that, that's really all you need to know about the Chelsea-Aston Villa game. They did really well. Again, they might be back, they might be not. I don't know. Maybe it was a fluke. Maybe Aston Villa just made them look better than what they really are. But final topic of the day. Copa del Rey. Atletico de Madrid, 0. Athletic Bilbao, 1. Bro, at home. Atletico Madrid at home. It is a literal miracle that Atletico Madrid did not score this game. It is a literal miracle. There should have been more goals in this game because Bilbao also should have scored another goal. Their goal comes from a penalty, from a rifle penalty. They checked it and everything, and it was a penalty. It was very, very clear at first. Like, I'm surprised they had to check it for a second, but like, it was very clear. I already forgot who scored it. His name is, it's a long one. I know who he is. It's just I already forgot his name. I was watching the repetition to make sure. Berenguer. He scores a penalty, very good penalty. But then after that, dude, Atletico Madrid had a chance from Morata. A clear chance. Griezmann had a couple chances. Depay, bro, I don't know what was the problem with the Athletic Bilbao goalkeeper, Agrizabala. Bro, he, for some reason, instead of grabbing it, he lets it, like, taps it or something. And, bro, Depay is there. He tries to get it, shoots it. Then it bounces up, and the keeper, instead of grabbing it, he bounces it, and freaking Depay hits it. It was insane. Then, bro, Depay had chances. Griezmann has chances. Correa almost had chances. I think it was Morata. Morata had like 3 chances. It is a literal miracle that Atletico Madrid didn't score. And then when Bilbao did really well. Don't get me wrong, because Bilbao is going to take this result and is going to go back to their stadium in Bilbao. I'm forgetting their name right now. But they're going to go back, and that's a literal fortress this year in Bilbao. At home, if I'm correct, let me see. At home, they are... Bro, the only game they lost this season, it was against us. That's it. It was the very first game of the season that Rodrigo and Bellingham scored. It was a 2-0 game. Ever since, they tied against Getafe, and they tied against Valencia, and they have won pretty much every other game at home, which is wild, bro. Athletic Club de Bilbao this season is one of my favorites. They're very entertaining. Nico Williams, who was injured, by the way, Iñaki Williams, Berenguer, Prados, Barichiche, Gusureta. They're really, really good this season. Villalibre should have scored a goal because Iñaki goes on a run, shoots it from outside the box. Oblak cannot catch it, and it bounces up, and bro, Villalibre just shoots it and hits the side of the net. That should have been a 2-0. And at that point, it's pretty much good game. Thank you for participating to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, if they get eliminated from the Copa del Rey, it is almost a certainty that they're gonna go trophyless, because La Liga. If you go to the La Liga table, they are currently 48 points. They're 10 points behind Real Madrid, who's in first place, and 8 points behind Girona, who's second place. So more than likely, unless Real Madrid or Girona was to have a complete collapse, they're not going to be able to regain a three and a half game gap, the 10 points. But also in the Champions League, they have Inter Milan, who I think they can beat them. I think Inter and Atletico Madrid are both dark horses for the Champions League. But whoever wins that game, I don't think, depending who the next rival is, I don't think they're gonna go past the quarterfinals for both scenarios, depending who the team that they get is. But they're by no means a favorite. So we're talking about the Champions League is probably a no. La Liga is already out of reach, in my opinion, unless again Real Madrid and Girona were to collapse. And at that point, we're talking about, are we really saying that if they don't win the Copa del Rey, they're gonna win anything else? I doubt it. And for what I remember, there's no other competitions that they can compete, and they didn't compete. They lost the Supercopa. So that's about it, really. Meanwhile, Athletic Club de Bilbao, like I said, bro, they're not aiming for La Liga, which is rightfully so. They're not winning that. They're not in the Europa League or anything like that this year. But at the rate that they're going, if they win the Copa del Rey and they stay in the 5th position right now, they're in the 5th position of the La Liga right now, they will be going to Europa League, which I deserve, rightfully so. At the moment, they have been very, very good this season. Very, very entertaining to watch. But overall, that was it. That's all the 3 most important things. Qatar will be playing the final against Jordan for the Asian Cup of Nations. Nigeria will be playing Ivory Coast after beating South Africa and Congo, respectively. Then we have the FA Cup. Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 3. Is Chelsea truly back? Nothing from Forest and Origi beat Bristol City in penalties. And then Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid falls short against Bilbao 1-0. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if you had any questions or you think I missed anything in the video. Obviously, I'm going to try to do this more on the daily side. Maybe even I'm going to try to do at least 3 times a week, depending on how many news there are in the world of football. But besides that, I will highly appreciate if you made it this far to drop a comment down. Let me know everything that you thought about the video, everything you thought, how I did. If you would like me to change anything, drop a like and subscribe. It really helps me out more than you could think. But hopefully you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.